So teenagers are asking questions, and you parents, you are not present in their life to be answering this question. There is trouble. Oh. Reason being that some of them, if they don't find answers from you, they will go outside to ask these questions, and wrong answers will be given. Imagine somebody saying, how does it mean to have a girlfriend? And the person is saying, try having one. And the person will say, okay, let me test run it. At the end of the day, disaster. So that is why I am telling you that you don't just have to be a parent, you have to be a present mom, a listening one, and the one that communicates. Yes, and if you don't do that, it becomes a problem. Teenagers will always ask questions when they feel overwhelmed, when they feel that they cannot do without some certain things, and they just need your answers. And that is why Mom of Teen is here. If you, as a parent, you know you cannot answer your teenagers' question, or you are an auntie, uncle, and you know they are always asking silly questions that you don't even know how to tell them, please use the WhatsApp link on my channel and tell them to send their questions. Anonymously, we'll be answering the question. So on today, we have a very interesting questions by some of our teenagers that sent us questions that we need to answer. So if you're a parent and you've watched to this essay, please watch to the end, and we need a meaningful answers from you to tell our teenagers. So the first one is this: should I tell my parents about my relationship? Teenagers and relationship, they will always ask you, when should I have a boyfriend? Is it good to do this one? It is not good to do this. So this is me answering this question. First and foremost, my dear, it is very important for you to tell your parent about your relationship. First, I will first of all give you the negative aspect. If you have a typical Nigerian mother, there is issue, because there will be issue because they will not agree to that relationship. You are just too young for it. That is not what you were sent to school to do. This is what you'll be hearing from them. And also, you might not be getting approval because they feel that you are not matured enough to be in such a relationship. But let's not assume that, oh, that is not the case. Now, one of the reasons why it is important for you to tell your parents about your relationship is for parental guidance. You see, because they've passed through this stage before, they know what to do, what to say to you to help you build up a healthy relationship, so that, let me use the word kasala, no go bust. Are you getting it? So if you know you are in a relationship and you are hiding it, you are not doing yourself good. The best is to tell your parents. It might be painful for some reactions you will be seeing, but I believe they mean well. They mean well in the sense that their guidance, their talking, their everything they will be doing during the process of this relationship matter, it means well for you. Because at the end of the day, you might not even be in love with the person. It's just that you might just be infatuated with the person, or it's just a crush that you finally told you like, or how will I put it for you to understand. So this is me telling you that it is very, very important. And above all, so that you don't go and enter trouble that will involve everybody. You need a parental guidance, especially from your mom, so that she will be able to guide you all through the way. I hope I've been able to tell you, I've been able to answer this question correctly for you. If you are a parent and you are wondering, the boy is asking, should I tell my parent about my relationship? So it is now left for you to decide whether you are going to tell or not. But if it's an African mother, I bet you will not get a good answer. That's just the simple truth. But let's assume it's in an advanced country. It is very important because they will also be there to guide you all through the way. They will tell you the do's and the don'ts. And when both of you have issues, you find out that they will be able to help you settle it in a matured way. I hope I've been able to do justice to that. Yes. So let's enter the next question. It said, is it normal to fail for no reason? This one hard though. It says, is it normal to fail? Yes, it is sometimes okay to fail. It is not normal to fail, but it is okay to fail sometimes. I hope I'm telling you the difference. It is okay It is okay sometimes to fail, but it is not normal to fail. Normal means that it is, let it be continuous, as in it's just a way of life. But sometimes, or processes, means that when you fall, it's not because of your own doing, it just happened. So at this junction, I would tell you, sometimes it is okay to fail, but it is not normal. And once you fail, what define failure is not because you failed. What define failure is you failing and remaining there. There are people that have failed and they could not get up, or they could not move ahead or forge ahead. This we can term as failure. But when you fail and you are able to rise, that means you are not failing, you only fell for a while and you've picked up. That is a true, how will I put it now? A true method of winning, because you failed once and you're able to pick up. Let me use an example. Oh, you failed in your mathematics exam, and when you go back to write it, you had an A. That one is the failure was just like a stepping stone for you to improve in yourself and make a good progress. But the where problem is when you fail and you keep failing and you keep failing. But even if keep failing and dwelling it is the problem. But even in failing and you are making an attempts is not a problem. It shows that you have this mindset of trying to win. I hope I am telling you. So whenever you fail or you failed once, don't feel bad about it. A lot of great people failed. Yes. When you ask questions, read biography, read about people's history, they will tell you the number of times they failed. But the difference is they never dwelled in that failure. Rather, they use their failure as a stepping stone to their next level. So it is okay to fail sometimes, but it is not normal to fail. I hope I have done justice to that. So whenever you fail, don't feel guilty. The only time you should feel guilty is when you remain there. But as far you are making an attempt to leave that position or to leave that particular failure, you are not failing. Rather, you are doing well. Yes. Let me attend to another interesting question. Why do I feel my parents don't understand me? I am a teenager. You see, when it comes to teenagers and their parents, it is a complicated thing. One of the reasons is that you are growing up and your parents are still seeing you like the little child they just betted. So most of the times when you want to do things, the problem will not come. No, you are not matured enough. You are too small. You are trying to pretend that you are big. The truth is this, it's not your parents' fault. They still see you like a child. And sometimes your attitude as a teenager, you see, when you behave somehow, your parents still feel that you are not matured enough towards certain things. So because of that one, it tends to bring grief. They will not understand you. Mommy, I want to go somewhere. And they are telling you, you have to go assisted, and you are telling them, no, mommy, I'm big enough. They will tell you, but I just want to go and do my assignment. I just want to go and read with a friend. You are the one trying to tell them what you want. They are still reasoning where you are not reasoning to. So you find out that it is important for you to know why they are doing this, and most of the time is for your own well-being. They might not want to agree with you in most cases because of what they have seen, because of what you have exhibited, and they are afraid because they don't want you to fall into trouble. So if you see them disagreeing with you most of the time, is sometimes a nature of a parent to do so. Parents will not agree with you all the time, especially you as a teenager. Most time it is very, very difficult for them to agree with you. And you are not alone in this problem. As far you have a mother, you have a father, and a typical Nigerian one for that matter, there are things you will do they will not agree with. It is not because you are bad. It is not because you are different. It is not. You check your siblings that are also teenager like you. How do they act with them? You find out that it's similar to yours. So when they act like this, it's because they care. It's because they have you in their mind and they never wished you evil. Because sometimes when you disagree, at the end of the day, we tend to agree. That is just the simple truth. And you find out that in the process, your kind of communication with them starts improving. Oh, I don't want you to go. The simple thing that would have you would have asked is, can you give me an explanation so that I will know the reason why you are telling me not to do this? Because to you, you might feel offended. You are big. You can make a decision on your own. But to them, you are just that little baby they just gave birth to that is trying to grow up. So most times it is not their fault. So we have another one again. It said, I'm always afraid of failing because of my parents. You see, just like the first one I attend to, afraid of failing. My dear, it is not a must that you must win all the time. In fact, I find it very funny sometimes when I see children always striving to win and never one day tell themselves, how will it look like when I fail? You see, one of the reasons why a lot of children end up becoming something, I don't want to use the word, is because when it now happens to them, they cannot cope with it. And this fault is coming from us parents. You find out that you keep telling them, you have to win, you have to pass, you have to do this. You cannot. As my child, you cannot. As my child, have you ever asked the child what the child really wants? And once you build up a child without telling the child that it is okay once in a while to fail, the day that child fails, it becomes problem. And that is why you find out that the teenagers of this generation, they are finding it difficult to handle failure. Yes, it's coming from us parents, because when they fail, they feel it has ended. They feel everything they've labored for has ended. Meanwhile, failure is part of life. That if you don't fail, how will you even succeed? How will you know that there's another method of doing something? Yes, you might pass through this method in doing this, use this method A in doing that thing, and you failed. And how will you know that there is a method B, there is a method C, there is a method D in solving that same problem if you never failed? So imagine you using a particular pattern and you've been making progress, and one day you got stuck in that progress and this becomes beyond what you planned. How will you know that there is another method if that plan does not fail? So that is why I will tell you this, and I will tell you for free. Never let anybody as a teenager pressure you to keep passing or making progress. This is you and what you want. And let me tell you, sometimes it is normal to fail, because in failing you discover your weakness and you now know your strengths. And when you read books about all these great men, like I said earlier in my video, you find out that great men, they all once failed. They had problems that some even dragged them down. It was in the process while they were in their low points, they now came up with an idea, came up with inventions, and you see them now, their names are being written or talked about all over the world. Who said while they were younger or when they were growing up, they all had it all smooth, that there was no failure? There was. They had issues. They were able to now sit down, reason it out, and find another method of making progress. The person that created light, how many times did he failed? If he was consistent in one particular method, or if he had done it once, he will not know the importance of other methods in giving us light. Even this GSM, this phone we are using, people made it, but they would tell you that it went through process of a lot of failures. So this is for me to you parents. Don't encourage your children too much to say you must pass. If you fail, it becomes a problem. My dear, psychologically, you are not helping that child. That child is only doing it for you. He is not doing it for himself. And at the end of the day, who will use that certificate? Who will that team benefits the most? Is it not the child? So a child that has never witnessed failure in his or her life, how would the child know that there is a low point? And that is why we have so many in the society, because a lot of them don't want to fail, and in failing, before you know, they start reasoning otherwise, and the next thing you find out, they said they want to end it all. Teenagers coming from parents, because you've done it before. If you don't pass, I will do you this. So parents, It is not a must you must push your children to pass. Sometimes allow them to be themselves. Let them experience life. With that, they will be able to tell their own story. You are telling your own story because you passed through a whole lot of process. Why not leave them to pass through failures and pass through all through the roads and let them come and tell their own story. In telling their own story, people will hear them. What is story? Story is something that was bettered out of things, and some of the things are negative that led to a positive reaction or a positive goals. So if they cannot tell their story all their life, they'll be telling you, I started from primary one and I entered university, I made all first class. There is no life in that. There is no life in that. In all, I am not saying you should continue to fail. I'm only telling you that for sometimes it is good to fail. So as a parent, we've come to the end of this our edition questions things are teenagers are afraid to ask. And if you know you have solutions to some of these questions, feel free to drop it in our comment section. And if you are new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe. And also, above all, share this video to a parent. It might be really helpful. This is Mom of Teen. I am Omoye Audu. I am saying next time when I come your way, expect more exciting questions from our teenagers. And at this junction, I will say thank you for watching.